Guys, can you believe it's October? I thought September went by quickly, and it did, but here it is October. And so this summer has been such an education for me when it comes to my garden because we've had, as a lot of the countries had drier summers and less rain. We've had some moisture here lately, which is nice, but it has taught me that you just have to. What did Reggie tell me? What did you tell me? It's Mother Nature, or you told me just go with it. I don't know. It was words of wisdom.
From
Obviously,
from me?
I didn't
I
remember
obviously
it.
I probably
But
got
your garden
I
tells you
probably
everything. So here
got it
we
from
are, October, and usually in Zone 6B, West and West Virginia, um, it's been colder and we've had a frost, or it's just not like this where we're still having beautiful temperatures and things are still flourishing. I'm thinking about my perennial pots that usually by now I've put them back in the ground. That's what I do with these pots. These are my ferns and my hostas that I just dig out of the soil and put them back in the pots. I love my perennial
and they just
pots.
go right down there,
They
don't
go right in there. I've got a hole right in there. And so I'm thinking I'm going to do that in the next week or so. And if not sooner, won't be today though. So I'm thinking in terms of it is October, and that means we have a lot of things to be thinking about, and we've started cleaning up. And I'll show you what I have gotten done. And I'm real pleased with everything that we've gotten done. We've planted some things this fall. Not it is fall. It's hard. Another hard thing. It's fall and it's October, early October. But I've come in and cleaned out more of my hostas. I like to wait as long as they don't look too shabby for frost. But if it doesn't, I'll just clean anyway.
they? No, your
Um,
poplar's looking good.
the what?
The what is not a poplar? Redbud.
The redbud
Sorry.
tree. I know it looks. This is its second season in our yard, so it might be 7 years old because Barb gave it to me, and it's doing great. I love all the little color that we've put in here to give us color this time of year, and this has held up really well. This little stacked wall, it's the soil hasn't come out of it. It's made this whole little garden pop, and what I love is it's the erosion. It's not. We won't have that soil erosion. It'll help hold the moisture. Um, and so, this is the time of year where you come in, you clean things out. I have come in and taken out some of my zinnias that were just along the edge, willy-nilly. I like that cottage garden style, but things can start to look trashy, and the garden always looks so much better from afar than it does close up. But I am in the midst of, I took a day last week and I touched every plant in the garden. I weeded. It finally cooled off, and so I touched every plant, took the dead leaves off, weeded. I scattered seeds I had a few cosmos come back in the garden, and I took their seeds, scattered them. I dug some soil away and scattered them. And my cleomes, I've done the same thing. I've scattered seeds because that's a good time of year to do that. I'm not ready to completely take all my zinnias out because we still have some lovely blooms and it gives me color. That will happen. I'll know when the time's right, when it starts to bother me. I'm real happy with all my transplants of my little blue flowers here. The name I can't think of, but it's a sweet little ground cover. I'll put it on the screen. When you get a little moisture after having such a drought, I even noticed this today. My willow tree had not put on any new leaves. Now look at this. It's getting new leaves. It's finally hydrated. I worried a lot about my willow tree because it's 60 years old, and even though it's so close
It's
to the
more than
water.
60 years old, I think.
Well, that's 90.
Well, wasn't it like 60 when we moved in? That's 30 years ago.
It's an old tree.
It's an old tree.
But what's nice is you see these little pops of color. I've got my knockout rose.
Oh yeah, it's really
blooming.
shining. It shows through.
Yeah, and then when you pan across to the Zephyrin Druin, it looks so fresh. Moisture is wonderful in a garden when you get it naturally. Our grass is green. There's a lot of things that I love about having some moist days, and we're getting cooler days, cooler nights. There's a few things I want to transplant, but I won't do that now because you don't want to be walking on the soil that's been so wet. You'll compact the soil, and I'd rather for it to dry up a little bit. So, what is a feast or famine, too hot, too dry. But I do have a few things, not a lot of things, that I want to divide and transplant and clean up a little bit. But it's just looking so lovely on the other side of the pergola, which the morning glories, fantastic. They're doing what they're supposed to do. But on the other side of this morning glory, I have a clematis called Henry, and I hadn't seen any signs of it until the last couple weeks, and I'm getting these gorgeous big white blooms. That's Henry, and it is gorgeous. I love seeing it. And I was afraid it wasn't going to come back, but it's come through and climbed up with the morning glory vine, and I love how it pops out of there. Let me get out of here. As we go through the garden, you can see that my new plants that we put in just 2 or 3 weeks ago are looking great. We did this, and I was hoping we'd get a little rain, and we did. So everything is looking lush and surviving and getting rooted in, which is what I like. It looks fresh. I'm loving it. The bird bath, what's so cool, and I probably mentioned this in a couple of videos, that we have a blue jay.
Couple of blue jays.
A couple
actually.
blue jays.
Yeah.
We think that they're a couple, and because we think we saw the baby. And I have a cute little video. You'll see it. That whenever the water's fresh, whether I pour fresh water or if it's rainwater, they come right into that and take this bath. And it is so cute to see it. And you can see it right now. It is, they love to just come in here.
So you're going to put up a little video?
Yeah, I have one.
Oh,
I took
okay.
one the other night. So we'll slip that into this video, and they'll be able to see the wonderful bird taking its bath. But all of my new plantings, that compact aster, it's doing great. My rose campions that I put in look lush and healthy. Love that. Over here, we put in the compact little butterfly bush. It's got some little buds ready to pop up. And then all of my clematis, with cooler temperatures and the moisture. This is Sarah Elizabeth. They're giving me a little bit of color. Probably like all of us, we're thinking about our veggie beds. And I would say by next week, I will take and clean up my veggie bed because I have garlic that I want to get planted in. Here it is, October. You want to get your garlic in the ground around here, by end of September through November.
Through the 1st of November.
Yeah, depending.
Yeah.
I looked at when our first frost day did. They said October 22nd. I'm doubting that. I'm looking out, and I've got a feeling it's going to be a little different since the whole summer was different. I've also taken the time and trimmed. A couple of weeks ago, I got in and trimmed back all of the boxwood hedges. It made me so happy. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I don't think you've seen a view of my gorgeous white anemones in bloom. Isn't this?
Let's see if we can get back in.
Oh my gosh, am I in your way? I'll scoot over here. Look at the blooms on this beautiful anemone. I just love, 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 love. And if I see any babies, they're going to get thrown around the back of this border all the way down through there. That's my hope. This pot too, this is my perennials, and these will all go back into the soil right over in here. They'll be brought out for next season because I loved how this pot looked this all season. It's been there since, I don't know, May. This vine, I think I'll be able to keep the ivy. We'll see. But anyhow, I do have, I'm getting stuck in the tree. I have alliums, Millennium alliums I stuck here because this is a sunny spot and they haven't bloomed. So they're going to get transplanted somewhere else. That's, like I said, I wanted to get things transplanted, but not in this mud. We're having an arborist come over. This juniper doesn't look right.
You got to have a tree guy if you got trees, don't you?
Yeah,
You got to have a tree guy.
Who's been doing it for a while.
We got one of the best.
And this tree doesn't look great at all. It looks like it's actually leaning. I don't know if it was from the drought or the age, but he's going to come next week and give us an idea of what to do. If I can save one, I'm fine, but I'll listen to him. He has to tell me what to do. That's just what you do. You know, you call people who do this kind of stuff for a living and that know more than you do about it. Plus, we don't have the tools that wouldn't be too hard to take it out. It's just
What do we do with it?
disposing of it.
Yeah, what do we do with it then?
I know. Yeah, I mean the one thing about like these tall evergreens, there are a lot of little branches. You can cut the small branches off and then cut the big branch off.
Trunk, yeah.
Yeah, but we don't have any place to dispose of it. We used to when Dad was living. We
Yeah.
had a place we could put stuff. But anyhow, I'm going to probably, like I said, I'll be cleaning up the veggie bed, but let's keep walking because everything looks good today. I tell you, rain makes a big difference. This, you know, I've shown this every video. This is what this looks like if you don't water it.
Yeah, it looks like
Your
a Charlie
plants.
Brown kind of
I
tree,
know.
doesn't it?
But you can see new growth. I learned late in the summer that requires, this is my Black Tower elderberry.
Yeah.
And it requires more water than I ever knew. I've had it for 3 years, but until we had this drought, it's not dead. It'll be nice next year. But let's go take a look at this.
There's already some growth coming on the bottom branches.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. It's growing. It really is. And this transplant, when I was putting in that bed down there, this is the little sapling that came up from the Japanese maple, and it's got lots of leaf growth on it. That's going to be nice. I love it. But over in this bed, it's really doing great. After we got our first rain, my hellebores just stood straight up. They have, looks like they're putting on new growth, and they have grown, which is lovely. I got a little fiddly. I love going in to your what is this little plant? I'll think of it. It's a spring bloomer, and I like taking off all the old leaves around it because it makes it look fresher. It's those little things that'll make you as a gardener happier when you can clean it up a little bit. But I will get in and I'll cut off my lavender and get it dried. I have plants to give away to a friend, things I've dug. I know, this tree, this is gorgeous.
This tree started out about the size of the one behind you.
Yeah, it did. And it's been in that pot 5 years.
Oh, 5 years at least.
5 years at least. And the truth is, the only way it's ever going to come out of there probably is to break the pot.
Oh, yeah.
Which I hate to do that, but it looks so pretty right here.
It's
so
so
you know,
linear.
don't hesitate to put an evergreen in a pot. Because they do really well for a long time. And I just water it every now and then. But anyhow, that is what we're up to. It's just that time of year. I have to get ready to start cutting things completely off, cut things back, getting them winter ready. And it's hard to believe.
Don't you think
it's
you've
here.
probably started earlier in years past?
Oh, I know I have.
Yeah.
I've got journals. We all keep a journal or a calendar or something. Absolutely. I can go back even to last year, and I was doing things so much sooner than what I'm doing now. Anyhow, forget-me-nots are the little blue flowers that comes to me. Here they are right here. Look at this. I love the look. That's my plan for next year.
It's light and airy.
All the forget-me-nots next spring will just fill in and give you that color. I've got that vision in my mind, but that's it. Take one last look at this beautiful potato vine. The heart-shaped leaves, you can't beat it. I love the way it's draping over that painting of Reggie's. Check him out, Reginald Hallver Studio, anytime. And that's just one plant, and it'll be there till frost comes. So that's what's happening in the gardening. That's what's gardening for you too. You know, we're all thinking about how do we clean things off, bulbs to plant, la-di-da-di-da-di. There's always a lot to do. And I hope you are out in your gardens and you're having a great beginning to October. You got to suck it in. It is October, people. Winter's coming. So thanks for watching Gardening on the West Fork. We'll see you the next time.